What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of HRTea. I hope you're What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of HRTea. I hope I'm losing it. I'm losing my mojo. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of HRT. I hope your week was swell. I'm super duper uber duper excited for this episode because of the guest this week. Drum roll, please. It's me. I'm the guest. Hi. Hello. Hi. I'm the guest this week. I was waiting to do this episode for maybe the 100th episode or some shit, but I didn't book any guests. So we're doing it this week. I also tried to do it last week, but I recorded the whole thing with no audio. And that's why an episode didn't come out last week. So I apologize, but we are back. Oh, and I'm also super excited this week because we have Max in the room for the first time in a while. Say hi, Max. Hi, Max. Very excited. I'm just gonna shoot the episode like I normally would if there was a guest here. I'll ask myself the same questions I normally ask guests. We'll see how it goes. When I recorded this episode last week with no audio, it was over an hour long. So I'm gonna try to yap a lot less. But I'm excited. And you get to hear my story a little bit. I know that I've shared my story in small increments in past episodes, so if I repeat myself a million times, I apologize, but I would like an episode that people can come back to just to know my story so I could stop repeating myself in every episode. Maybe that would be great. And before we get into it, please make sure you subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. Maybe share this episode with your friends. I would appreciate that too. Subscribe to my Patreon as well. The link is always in the description below. You are missing out on a lot of bonus content if you are not subscribed. Follow me on Twitch. I go live every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check out After Dark if you haven't already. And yeah, okay, let's go talk to Cody. Okay. Love you all. Bye. Okay, Cody, I'm going to start by asking you where you are from. Oh, thank you so much, Cody. I really appreciate you giving me this platform where I can talk about my issues. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that the whole time, I promise. I am from New York, Long Island to be exact. New York, for me, New York as a trans man treats me very well, to be honest. New York is a blue state, so I feel like I don't have much to complain about. But Long Island is very red. I feel like, well, maybe not very red, but pretty red. I do see the occasional Trump flag. You know how people have their Trump flags hanging from back of their Jeep trucks? I see a lot of those. That's never fun. But other than that, I feel like I don't really see too much transphobia in the state of New York. I mean, I have been called the F slur on the train on the way to the city, but that's not because I'm trans. I think maybe I just give gay energy sometimes. I don't know. But yeah, I'd say New York is pretty okay. How old are you? I am 25. I'm 25 for all those who didn't know. Hormones. Now I know everybody knows that I'm on testosterone and my love-hate relationship with it. Don't be mad, but I haven't taken any testosterone in over 3 weeks. I know I said the gel was easier, but I'm still fucking up. Yeah, no, I haven't taken it in over 3 weeks. I took it the day before I left for the Renaissance Fair. See, my problem is that folks, they'll email me sometimes and be like, hey, you need to book an appointment for your annual appointment. And if you don't, we're going to take away your testosterone. I'm like, they're not going to do that. They're bluffing. They're bluffing. It's fine. Turns out they were not bluffing. Turns out they were, in fact, not fucking bluffing. And then I scheduled an appointment so that I could get my testosterone back, talk about it all. And I slept right through the appointment. So we still don't have testosterone. And I know I'm an idiot for that. But, like, also, come on. I've been on testosterone for 7 years. You can't just send me, like, one fucking little thing while I wait for each appointment costs me like $85 because they don't take my insurance. So, like, can you blame me? Can you freaking blame me? And now they want me to do labs before I can get my testosterone, but I haven't been on testosterone over 3 weeks. So what the fuck is what are my labs going to show you? They're going to show you that I need testosterone that you won't give me. Hello? Anywho, that was my little rant for the day. Yeah, I was on injections for 7 years. They treated me very well, clearly. They treated me well, but I hated doing injections, and they gave me horrible cramps towards the end. So I was like, "Fuck this! I'm switching to gel." Switch to gel. Best thing I ever did in my life. It's just a quick little on the thighs, on the thick thighs every morning. And also anybody who says that gel, is worse because then you can't like touch your girlfriend or anybody for like an hour. If you take it in the morning, who's rubbing up on your thighs at 8 a.m. in the morning? Who's rubbing up on your fucking thighs at 8 a.m.? If you took it maybe at night, I would get it. But, like, I'm not afraid my girlfriend's going to turn into a man, guys. Don't worry. So I am definitely trying to get everybody to switch to gel if they hate injections because best thing I ever did. I did IM. Everybody knows the story of my first shot. I'll make it quick for anybody who's new here. My first ever shot, I used an 18 gauge needle, put that motherfucker right in my thigh. You know, the 18 gauge one, the pink one that you're supposed to draw it up with, and then supposed to switch to like a 21 or a 22. Didn't switch. Okay, drew it up with the 18 gauge, and then put that motherfucker right in my thigh. Do you know what that feels like? Do you understand what that feels like? That's like sticking a pencil in your thigh. I think they pierce people with 18 gauge needles. Like, it was a horrible experience. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. At the time, my mom wasn't too fond of the fact that I was going on injections. So she was sitting there like, I can't help you. And I was sitting there with a needle and vial in my hand, like, oh my God, I can't do it. Please help me. And she was like, no, you did this to yourself. And I was bawling my fucking eyes out. But by week 2, week 3, I figured out that you had to draw it up with a different needle and then switch. So we got there and it's fine. But I think that first ever injection just fucked up all of my other injections for the rest of my life. And maybe that's where I get the trauma from. And maybe that's why I hate injections so much. I don't know. You tell me. I started testosterone. I started it when I was just a wee lad. No, I started it when I was 18 years old. 18. I was a senior in high school. I knew that I couldn't get both of my parents to sign off on it, so I knew that I had to wait until I was 18. So, and I'm 25 now. So, is that 8 years or 7 years? I don't know. I can't count. But I've been on testosterone for quite a long time. Surgeries. Yeah, that's the next question I usually ask my guests. Surgeries. I got top surgery when I was 19. I started testosterone when I was 18, May 10th. Happy birthday, Max. I started testosterone May 10th of 2017. And no, yeah, I got my top surgery February of 2018, and I was 19 years old, so a year after. I said, I'm sick of this shit, and got it done lickety frickin' split. My top surgery I got done in New York City. By Dr. Elliot Jacobs. I don't think I've ever told you guys my surgeon before, mainly because I forgot his name up until now. He did okay. He specialized in gynecomastia. I think that's the right word. Don't really know. But it's the condition where cis men just have like extra fat in their chest. So that's what he specialized in. I saw a couple surgeons. I saw Dr. Garamone. Don't know. Also can't remember if they're a male or a female. But I had a Skype call with them. I wanted keyhole, did not want double incision. Something I regret because I was young and didn't want scars. Now I would kind of kill for scars. Even isn't that fucked up? Like I kind of look at other trans guys and like, damn, I wish I had scars. I don't get that. Don't know. Didn't want scars though, and I talked to Dr. Garamoni, don't know. And I was on a Skype call with this motherfucker. He makes me take off my shirt. Okay, buy me dinner first. He makes me take off my shirt during this Skype call. Looks at my chest and goes, "No, too big. We have to do double incision." I said, "Go fuck yourself," and I hung up. And then I found Dr. Elliot Jacobs, who said, "Well, Dr. Elliot Jacobs didn't do necessarily keyhole, but the gynecomastia surgery is very, very, very close to keyhole, so that's pretty much what I did." He did a fine job. He woke me up, and I've told this story a couple times, and it only really makes me uncomfortable because he didn't specialize in trans men, so I felt like he was trying to treat me as a trans man rather than just a man. Maybe, I don't know, but the way I woke up from this surgery, he wakes me up and goes, Cody, you're flat. And I, on an immense amount of drugs, cringed. I said, ew, get away. Didn't like that. But I woke up and it was fine. I swore to the gods above that, because they woke me up on the table, right? Because they had to like put something on me and they had to wrap me up or some shit. I don't know. I remember waking up and be like, Cody, we have to put your pants on. And I said, those are my favorite pants. I brought them just for this occasion in a room full of doctors. So it was true, though. I did bring those pants for that occasion. But I remember being drugged the fuck up on this table. And I looked down. I'm like, oh my God, you guys did an amazing job. It looks so good. And one of the doctors goes, Cody, you're wrapped up. You can't see your chest. I don't know. I thought in my drug state that I saw my chest. Just trying to give them a compliment. I don't know. And then I woke up again in the recovery room, and my mom was there, and she took a video of me, and the whole video just consists of me sitting there shivering because I think anesthesia, I don't fucking know, makes you shiver. So it was just me talking like, Mom, what's going on? And then I recovered in like a month or so. I remember my my sister's boyfriend at the time. I have a lot of steps going up to my house. He had to cradle me like a baby because I couldn't step up all the steps by myself. So he carried me to my bed. And then my sister fed me soup. And then I recovered quickly. Since then, my doctor, like 6 months later, I went back for my checkup or whatever, and he was like, you need to do push-ups. Otherwise, it may not look right. And I said, pish posh. Pish posh, it'll look fine. Didn't do push-ups. It does not look fine. It doesn't look horrible. It's not like really bad, but like you could tell something's wrong with my chest. You know what I mean? Like you could just tell. So I don't know if I should do push-ups or if I should just have a revision surgery in my future. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. But if anyone can relate to that story, maybe give me a comment below and let me know what you think, because I'm at a loss with it. I don't really know what to do. Not in love with my chest anymore. And I spent $10,000 to be shirtless, and now I never want to be shirtless. So I think I fucked up. Okay. Is that it for surgeries? Oh, bottom surgery. Gotta be honest with you guys. Gotta be real. I don't think I ever want bottom surgery. I think I've made up my mind. It could change. It could change later in life, but I don't think that my dysphoria is bad enough to the point where I think I'll ever need that. Like, it just seems like a lot to put yourself through if your dysphoria isn't that bad. Like, I'm kind of rocking with what I got right now. You know what I mean? Like, I love myself. But, like, that's also not to say that people who... that's not to say... Shit. That's not to say that people who get bottom surgery don't love themselves. They do. I'm sure they do. I just don't feel like I need that. And, like, I don't know. Packing has never been a me thing. It feels like I'm an imposter. I feel like I would walk into public and everyone be like, "Hey, yo, that guy's bricked up. Why is he so horny?" And that's just not for me. I don't want to be bricked up in public. I don't know what to tell you. If you know me in real life, no, you don't. No, you don't. Okay? No, you don't. Um, I do think it would be so cool to like open my own trans shop one day. I feel like that's on the goal list. I would love to sell fake wieners on the internet. Imagine the HRT shop, and then it's just a list of prosthetic cocks. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is why I always have a guest. And you know what? Those of you who asked for this episode, this is your fault. This is on you. Um, Anywho, yeah, no bottom surgery for me. Maybe I'll change my mind one day. We'll see. Um, but anywho, spill the tea, Cody. When did you come out as trans? I came out as trans. Okay, I came out as trans in 2016. I want to say. I think it was 2016. I think I was 16. Maybe it was 2015. No, it couldn't be 2015. I was 16. Year was 2016. 16's across the board. I didn't really come out that well. I came out, but like when I had that like, "Hey, I'm trans" moment, it wasn't really me who said, "Hey, I'm trans." It was my girlfriend at the time. Um, we were just hanging out, chilling one night. It was like 1 a.m. I think we were hanging out, and I think okay. Backstory, roll it back. I had pin straight hair my entire life. Okay, middle part and everything. You can imagine it. It was horrific. Pin straight hair came down to about like right here, right at my like nipples, probably. Um, and I never wanted a single person to ever touch my hair. Okay, I would never put it up. You were not allowed to touch my hair. You were not allowed to do anything with it. Everyone would always be like, "You should give yourself like a side part or put it up in a ponytail." And I said, "Fuck no, touch me, you're dead." Um, it was like a thing. I don't know why. And then all of a sudden, when I turned 16, I was like, you know what? I want a haircut. I want to look like Justin Bieber. I want to be the Biebs. Okay. And everyone was like, what do you mean? That's crazy. You're like so specific about your hair and now you want to chop it all off. And I said, yeah, dude, come on. And then my girlfriend at the time was like, hey, why are you doing this? And I said, I don't know. I need a change, man. Like, I need something new. She looks at me and she goes, do you want to be a boy? And I said, that's a crazy question. That's insane. And then I think she like worded it differently, like to the point where like I knew it wasn't a joke. I couldn't laugh it off any longer. She was like, "Are you a boy?" And I said, let me think about that one. Let me digest that real quick." And not even like 3 seconds went by before I was like, "Maybe." Like that that's a good observation. I think you could be right. Um and then like I think in that same night she was like, you know, cuz I followed this kid, his name is HK Hunter on Instagram. I followed him on Twitter. I followed him I'm not on Twitter, on Tumblr. I followed him like way before he came out as trans. And I always had like an infatuation with this man and I didn't know why. I think he was like the only trans man at least, that I'd ever seen in my life. And I never thought about his transness before. I just like I just had an infatuation with him. Like, and I didn't understand why. Hello, we all know why. And I as soon as my girlfriend at the time was like, "Hey, you can be just like him," I was like, "Oh, I get it now." And then I think I like did things based off of him. Like he changed his name to something that was similar to his dead name and shit like that. And that same night, the same night I came out or whatever, she made me come out kind of. I we looked at names. She used he him pronouns with me and nobody else did. We found a name. We found Cody. Whatever. We looked at a list of C names, and I liked Cody the best. And for like maybe a week or two, she was the only one calling me that and using those pronouns. And then from there, I think I told a couple other friends, and then a couple other friends. Um, and then at school, I told my teachers. I think I sent an email out or some shit. I don't really remember. I told my teachers, and I hadn't told my parents yet. And I wanted my teachers to change my name in the system, but they wouldn't without a note from my mother. So that was rough because some of the teachers didn't listen to me. Like they would call me Cody to my face, but then like I'd hear them talking to like other teachers about me and then would then name me. I'm like, I'm right fucking here. Like, is it that fucking hard for you? And they wouldn't change my name on like the roster on the smart board. I was like, come on. Or my picture from like 2 years ago. Transphobic. So yeah, I came out to friends and I kind of let my friends tell people in school for me because I didn't want to have to be like, hey, everybody, I'm a dude now. So I told like my little friend group, and then I kind of just let them refer to me as Cody in front of other people so that the people who didn't really know or understand would feel stupid calling me my dead name or referring to me as a girl. Like they would feel like the odd man out. I'm a little manipulative. A little manipulative of me, but it worked because they felt stupid and didn't want to be wrong. So they just called me Cody and whatnot. It kind of worked. I kind of think everybody should do that if they don't want to like come out to literally every single person. Um so yeah, that's how I came out of school. Um and little backstory to my life here. I was always a tomboy, as people say. It feels gross to say that now. Always dressed in guys' clothes from as long as I can remember, to be honest. I It wasn't until like seventh grade, sixth grade, seventh grade, um, that I was like, hey, maybe I shouldn't wear dudes' clothes anymore. Maybe people are making fun of me for a reason. Well, I also my childhood best friend, Kelsey. Hey girl, little shout out. Hey girl. She was also a tomboy growing up. So we were like 7 years old, little 7 year old girls running around in dudes' clothes all the time. And because she was also like a tomboy, like I felt like it was okay because I wasn't alone and like, all that hoopla shit. I was like, we're chilling, it's fine. And then we got to like seventh grade and she started, or like sixth grade, and she started wearing more feminine clothing. And I was like, I'm perceiving her doing this, and I think it's great for her, but why am I not ready to do that? Why don't I want to do that? And I think that was the first time that I ever like questioned my gender without realizing I was questioning my gender, if that makes sense. I was kind of just like in my head, why the fuck is she doing that and why can't I do that? But I could do that. I didn't want to do that. You know what I mean? So I tried. It was god fucking awful. I hate women's clothing. I feel bad for women. That shit is so tight. I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people do it. I think I wore like the farthest I went with it was like jean shorts and like a crop top. Disgusting. Gross. Probably like the same crop top every day. It was horrible. I hated it. And then I remember like ninth grade. No, ninth grade. I still tried to wear like women's clothing. I think like sophomore year rolled around and I was like, fuck this. I am done. Dunzo. Went back to my khaki fucking jeans and my band t-shirts and beanies and snapbacks. Um, can't change who I am. I don't know what to tell you. Um, yeah, fast forward, and then the whole trans thing happened. Whatever, I had to come out to my parents. The way I came out to my mother, cringiest thing I think I've ever done. I hate thinking about it. I was in my room one day. I'd come out of school, come out to my friends, and I was like, okay, if I want to start testosterone, I have to tell my mother that I'm a dude. And mind you, I had always been into the ladies. Okay, at the time I was dating a girl, and prior to that girl, I dated another girl before that, and it's not something my mom and I ever talked about. She just kind of knew. I knew that she knew, but we didn't talk about it. And she knew I was gay, but whatever. Didn't talk about it. I was in my room one night, and I was like, I gotta do it. I gotta do it. I started listening to like music to really hype me up, to get me in the zone. Okay. I think I was listening. The last song I listened to before I walked into her room was "Let's Cheers to This" by Sleeping with Sirens. If you know it, period. If you don't, good for you. um, yeah, got the whole world in front of me. La da 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 da. Gonna go come out to my mother now. I walk in. I stand at her desk for like an hour, just watching her work, do her thing. And then I start playing this game with her. I'm like, would you still love me if I was a worm? Would you still love me if this? Would you still love me if that? And she was like, uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Go away now. Uh-huh. And I think something came up and she was like, "Is this about you being gay? Because I already know that and we don't have to talk about it." And well, yeah, but like there's more. And she was like, "More? What could there possibly be more of?" And I was like, "Would you still love me if I was a boy?" And she was like, "Well, yeah, obviously, but you're not." And I was like, "Try again." I think you're wrong. And I was like, "Well, like, I think I am, and I think I'm trans." And she was like, "Oh, well, I love you no matter what. No matter what happens, I'll support you and love you, but God intended for you to be a girl, and you will always be one." I said, "Fuck you, mom." At the time, not what I wanted to hear, but I don't think we fought or anything. I was just kind of like, whatever. I just wanted to tell you. I hope you change your mind in the future. And then I think I just went to bed that night, carried on my way. She did not use my preferred name or pronouns for a while. Actually, she only used my preferred name and pronouns because my sister started to. And I think my sister found out I was trans before I told my mom, which I forgot about. Um, One night I was sitting at the kitchen table with my sister, and Siri on my phone referred to me as Cody. I was just trying to get validation whenever I could. I don't know what you want from me. So Siri was calling me Cody, and you know how Siri just like goes off sometimes? Sometimes she just fucking pops up, says hello out of nowhere. Yeah, while I was sitting there talking to my sister, and Siri goes, "I'm sorry, Cody, I missed that. Can you repeat that or some shit?" And I looked like a deer in headlights. My sister looked at me and I said, she said, "Is that what you want me to call you from now on?" I said, "Yes, please." And that was it. That was fucking it. We didn't have to have a whole conversation about it. She just took it at face value, and I don't think ever screwed up once after that. And for that, I love her very much. So when my mom found out, when I told my mom I was trans, my sister started calling me Cody and using he, him pronouns. Um, so that kind of made it easier for my mom to just like be able to hear it all the time. And then my mom, she still wasn't doing it. And I was like, okay, then I'm not going to answer to you when you call me by the wrong name and the wrong pronouns. So she would knock on my door when like she was mad at me or something. I forgot to do my chores or some shit. She would bang on my fucking door. I had a lock on my door. What can I say? I was privileged. She would fucking bang on my fucking door, calling out my dead name, and I just would not answer. I would not fucking answer. And then finally she'd stand there and go, knock, 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 and then go, Cody. And I go, yeah, yes, mother. Yes, mother. How can I help you? And after a while of doing that, I think because it was like funny to her in a way, like she'd get so frustrated, and then I'd be like, yes, hello. As soon as she would use the right name, I think like the the humor in that made it easier for her to start calling me Cody. See, everyone around me was fine with using the name Cody, but didn't like correlate that to transness in any way. Like, oh, she's just changing her name to Cody. The fuck is wrong with you? No, I'm not. So that was easier for my family. And then, there was still, even though my name was Cody now, I was still like, you'll always be a girl. God intended you to be this way. You have XY chromosomes. No, you have XX chromosomes, whatever. And I was like, Mom, my chromosomes don't matter. Stop. Stop, Mom. God. um, and I think, honestly, with my mom, it was just about her seeing me, especially after I started testosterone, seeing that I wasn't turning into something like, I wasn't like turning into a drag queen or some shit. Like, I was just me and I was happier. That was enough for her after a while. Um, with my dad, on the other hand, well, my mom, I want to say now, my mom is my biggest supporter. She supports me through everything, and I'm very grateful for that. Um, with my dad, on the other hand, my dad also, I wouldn't say my dad supports me now. He just doesn't care anymore. Like, I would not call my dad a supporter of mine. I would not do that. But he just is like, okay, nothing I can do about it, type of thing. The way I told my dad, I waited to the last possible fucking second to tell my father. I had set up my testosterone appointment. I was starting testosterone. I had finished my gender therapy. I got all my letters. I was ready to start testosterone. I had my appointment set up. My dad was teaching me how to drive at the time. He picks me up. I get in the car. I'm in the driver's seat. We're pulling out of my driveway. My parents are divorced, by the way. Pulling out of my driveway. And I'm like, now or never, dog. Now or never. Fucking speak. And the way my dad works, okay, the way his mind works, he does not talk about anything that is uncomfortable, ever. We don't talk about uncomfortable things. Awkward situations, the worst possible thing in the world. um, so you can imagine my fear. I'm sitting there, fucking white knuckling the steering wheel, and turn to him, and I'm like, so maybe this is maybe I was starting therapy so that I could start testosterone. Because I know that's how I said it. I was like, so I'm starting gender therapy because I'm transgender. And that was about how long of a pause there was in conversation when I said that. He goes, the first ever fucking thing that the thing that came out of my father's mouth when I said that I'm transgender. Ready? He goes, oh God. That's what he fucking said to me. That's what he fucking said. And I go, yup. I don't know what we're going to do about this, Dad, but I'm trans. And I think that he did not know what to do with that information whatsoever. He had really nothing to say besides moans of disgust. I laugh about it now, but I was not laughing then. Um, so he was just like, okay, all right, whatever. Okay. Like, he was just so uncomfortable. He didn't know what the fuck to say to me, and that was it. And he taught me how to drive, and I went home. And I told myself, I was like, I'm not going to reach out to him. Like, I'm not. That was a disgusting response to my beautiful coming out ceremony. And I didn't like that response. So I'm not going to reach out to him until he wants to learn more about it. He reached back out to me like 4 or 5 days later. He texted me. He said, hi, like, I'd like to pick you up so we could talk. That has never come out of his mouth before. I was like, damn, okay. Don't know what's about to happen. He picked me up. We sat in his driveway, the back of his truck, for like 15 minutes. And he was like, oh God, the things this man fucking said to me. The things this man fucking said to me. In the moment, I wish that I was mature as I am right now, or as mature as I am right now, and like had the emotional intelligence and language to be able to tell him how fucked the things he said to me were. But I was young and stupid and afraid of him at the time, so I just kind of laughed these things off, which I really regret. But I remember one of the things he said to me, which is god fucking awful. I hope that no other parent ever says this to their child when they come out as trans. But this man said to me, he goes, you know, when I was in high school, me and my friends used to beat people up like this. Come again, daddy? Come again? What did you just fucking say to me? So you're saying to me that if you weren't my father and we were in high school together right now, you'd beat the shit out of me? That's crazy. That's a crazy thing to say to your child. That is wild. I think about that sometimes and I'm like, why didn't I walk the fuck home after that? Why didn't I punch him in his fucking throat? Why didn't I? I don't know. Thanks, daddy. Appreciate it. At the time though, I literally was just like, that's crazy. I said nothing. I was so like just gutted that I was like, haha, wow. And he said some other fucked up things to me as well. Oh, I remember another one he said to me. He goes, oh, this one hurt too. He goes, all my friends' kids, they're going to school or they're graduating or they're getting jobs. What do I have to say for my kid? That your kid's happy? I don't know. Like, damn, I had a job at the time. I was doing well. I was making my own money. You could say your kid has a job and he's making his own money. You don't have to tell them I'm trans. Like, Jesus Christ, father. So that was a time. After that happened, I didn't really speak to my dad all that much. I didn't go like no contact, but I didn't really reach out. I would see him every Wednesday and every other weekend, and I think that's around the time where I stopped seeing him every Wednesday and every other weekend. I would just kind of let him hit me up when he wanted to, and he didn't, to be honest. Like weeks would go by where I didn't really talk to him. Um, and that didn't help. I mean, it helped for my mental, but like in hindsight, he was not around me enough to be able to get used to the fact that I went by Cody and he, him pronouns, so that when I did start seeing him more often again, it was harder for him because he hadn't been around me and hadn't been around other people who were calling me Cody and whatnot. Every time I see him, I see my grandma as well. Grandma, on the other hand, is, I think, the only person in my life that I don't like. I've never really pushed my name or my pronouns on her because she's my grandma. Like, what? She's like 87 years old or some shit now. Like, she could do whatever she wants. It's fine. I'm not gonna yell at her. Um, and she wasn't great at it. She still messes up sometimes, which I don't really understand how, given I have a full beard and everything. But yeah, me and my dad are fine now. I know he would never say those things to me now. I know that he wouldn't say those things to me now because he sees that I'm I don't look like a drag queen. You know what I mean? Like when I came out to him, I think it was before I started testosterone, he was very much like, "Oh my god, my kid is going to look like a drag queen and be dressed in rainbows and have like a beard and long hair and like he just did not understand transness in any way, shape, or form. So he was just wildly confused. And like even if that was the case, even if that's what I wanted to look like and what I planned to look like, his reaction was still fucked in god fucking no end. But once he saw me, you know, like present as a cis man in public, and when he saw strangers in public refer to me as a man without even knowing I was trans, I think that's when things clicked in his head. And he was like, oh, if I refer to my kid as a girl right now, I'm going to look like the idiot, not my kid. You know what I mean? And then that hurts to know that, like, he's only supporting me so that he doesn't look stupid. That's not great. That doesn't feel good. But I know now that he would never say those things to me. I remember there was one day, I'm not teaching me how to do something, and he looked over at me one day out of the blue. We hadn't talked in a while, and I think he knew that we hadn't talked in a while for a reason, because I was very much like, if you don't fucking support me, I will not be in your life, and I am 100% okay with that. I am 100% fine without you in my life. And as soon as you let people know that, that's when they start acting accordingly, which is disgusting. But He looked over at me one day. He goes, "Well, you're my son now, right?" So I don't really remember what we're talking about, but that's what he said. And I was like, "You right. You right about that one." And from there on out, it's been fine. I I don't think he's told his friends that I'm trans. I think I looked in his phone one day, not on purpose. Like his phone was just like sitting there in my name. I texted him or some shit, and like my name popped up, and it wasn't my name; it was my dead name. So I was like, "Oh, great, 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 great." So you still haven't changed that, and it's been like 5 years. That's disgusting of you. And then one time when he was helping me build the studio, he got a phone call and he walked out and he didn't know I could hear him, but I heard him on the phone and he was telling his friend that he was with me and went to go call me by name and like lowered his voice and said my dead name. When I was building this studio for this podcast last year, I am 7 years on testosterone. Like, and you haven't told your friends that you have a whole son, that like you're a psycho. You're an absolute fucking psycho. Like, either get new friends or just fucking tell them, and whatever they say doesn't matter. Like, you're that embarrassed to your kid. Damn, this is becoming a trauma dump. My bad. But you wanted to know. You clicked on this video for a reason, okay? I don't know what to tell you. Also, I get scared sometimes that my dad does not know that my podcast is about being trans. I think he knows because he's never asked. But he helped me build this fucking studio. And he never once was like, "What are you going to talk about?" Because I think he knows. But hey, Dad, if you ever see this, I get scared because like my goal is to not to make him feel bad, but like even if like I found out he saw this and like was like, "Why would you say all those things about me?" I'd be like, "Why did you react that way when I came out as trans? I don't hate you for it. I'm not mad at you anymore, but like own it and then do better." Right? I don't know, that's what I tell myself. Yeah, that's pretty much it for my coming out story. Again, I apologize if I've shared these stories in the past and, my OG viewers remember all of them. But I wanted one place where people could go back to hear my coming out story since I, talk to everybody else about theirs all the time. And I do get asked quite often to do this type of thing. So I just wanted one place where anybody could find it at any given time. That's really it. If you have any other questions for me, please feel free to leave a comment below. I always ask my guests what it means to be a man or a woman or being non-binary, what it means to them. And you bet your bottom fucking dollar I have some trans song of the weeks for you, some trans songs of the week for you. I have more than one because it's my fucking podcast, so fuck you guys. All right. What does being a man mean to me? Now, through all of the times I've asked my guests this question, I've thought about what I think it means to me to be a man, and I love all of my guests' answers to this. I've learned so much about what being a man or a woman or being non-binary. I've learned so much about that through them. When I think about it, like, what does being a man mean to you? To be honest, to be transparent with you, fully, completely, and utterly honest, being a man means nothing. It means jack fucking shit. It means garbage to me. Being a man means nothing. Does that make sense? Like, anybody could be a man. Anybody in their right fucking mind could be a man, but not everybody could be a woman. Does that make sense? Does that check out? Like, I think it takes so much more to be a woman than it does to be a man. Like, if you have the mindset of, like, providing for your family, being brave, courage, the brave, and, like, having courage and, like, shit like that, that's great. If that's what you think being a man is, hell yeah. Like, I can get down with that. But, like, women are brave. Women can provide for their families. Women have courage. You know what I mean? Like, anything anybody could say about what being a man means, a woman can be. I don't know. That's my answer. Like, to me, like, maybe what does being a trans man mean? Shit, I don't know. Fuck, I don't know who I am. I don't know. Loving yourself? Maybe I'll go as far as say being a man means, like, being nice to other people. not being like so wildly insecure within yourself that you project it onto the world. That's what I think being a man is. What women do every day that men can't do. I don't know. That's my answer. Take it or leave it. Trans song of the week. Y'all don't know how fucking long I've been waiting to give my own trans song of the week. Okay, this is why I wanted to do this episode by myself. This reason and this reason only. Okay. I had them written down last week, but I lost them, so now I gotta think. I don't know. We're gonna start with "Anything But Ordinary" by Avril Lavigne. I'd rather be anything but ordinary, please. Come on. Transcoded as fuck. What else we got? Oh, I know that in Gabe's episode a long time ago, he gave this one, 25 by Izzy Heltai. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. Izzy is a dope ass motherfucker. I really like his music, and that song 25, it hits me in the heart every single fucking time, and I'm just so glad there's a song out there that I can actually relate to as a trans person, because he like mentions, because the song is about like him turning 25 and like not having done what he wanted to with his life, with his career, I guess. And then the bridge of this fucking song, dude, I'm gonna read you the bridge because it's my podcast and I can do whatever the fuck I want. So the bridge, okay, are you ready for this? The bridge goes, "And if I peaked in high school, then maybe I wouldn't care. But I was just another queer kid, and I thought that I'd be dead. By the time that I turned 20, guess I'm pushing my luck, living past my life expectancy, because trans kids normally don't get this far." Did you hear that? Were you listening? Because, oh my fucking God. Oh my fucking God. The first time I heard that, I felt like I was fucking ascending. And I would just like to thank my bestie, Gabe, for showing me that song because I love it so much. Okay, next, and get ready. I Got Nerve by Hannah Montana. Where are my Hannah Montana girlies at? Okay, because I ate that shit up when I was little, and I'm still eating that shit up every single day. Just re-downloaded the song like 2 weeks ago. Okay, nothing gets me hyped up more than I Got Nerve. I don't know if it's necessarily transcoded, but like, it gets me fucking hyped up as a trans man. Okay, so transcoded. My last one, I don't understand why nobody, no guest I've had, at least I don't think, no guest I've had has brought this song up before. Have you seen Lemonade Mouth? Has anybody seen Lemonade Mouth? The Disney movie? Bridget Mendler, everybody, okay? That one song, She's So Gone. That right there is the most transcoded fucking song I have ever heard in my life. You know what? It's my podcast. I can do what I want. She's so gone. Lemonade mouth. Lyrics. I'll read the chorus. She's so gone. She's so gone. That's so over now. She's so gone. You won't find her around. You can look, but you won't see the girl I used to be. 'Cause she's so gone. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna vomit. That's the best fucking song I've ever heard in my life. It's a very trans man coded song. Maybe not a trans woman coded song. Well, maybe. Maybe a trans woman coded song. I don't know. Come on, guys. Here I am. This is me. And I'm stronger than you'd ever thought I'd be. Are you shocked? Are you mad that you're missing out on who I really am? Fuck y'all. Fuck you. That's so good. That's my fucking trans anthem right there. Right fucking there. Oh! I had another one. I'm sorry, I keep banging on the desk. I had another one. Also surprised that nobody has said this one either. This fucking song. Are you ready? Eat Me by Demi Lovato. Featuring Royal and the Serpent, I'm pretty sure. That song is very much like, I think because Demi like went through like her I think Demi's pronouns are she, they now, if I'm not mistaken. She used to be very poppy, very feminine, long hair, and then she cut her hair off and went to they them pronouns, and I think she released the song kind of after that whole whatever. Oh, and it's just so transcoded. It's so fucking transcoded. Are you kidding? Ready? Are you ready for this? Longer hair and tighter clothes. Would you like me better if I didn't oppose? Silver platters, pretty bows, fuck. I know the part I played before. I know the shit I've ignored. I know the girl that you adored. She's dead. It's time to fucking mourn. Oh god. It's just so angry, It's me in a song. I don't know what to tell you. Those are my trans songs of the week. You can find them on the Spotify playlist that I made. It has every single trans song of the week that a guest has ever given me, now including mine. It's always in the link in the description below on Spotify. I hope you liked my trans song of the week. Anybody who hasn't been a guest, feel free to comment below with your trans song of the week. I love trans coded songs. Please. They don't have to be actually about being trans. I mean, please, I gave you I Got Nerve by Hannah Montana, so it doesn't have to be that serious. I think that's it for this week, y'all. I hope you liked my episode. I hope you liked my solo episode. I hope it was good. I think it was fun. I think I had a good time. I hope I didn't yap for too long about nothingness, and I hope it was interesting. And I love y'all so much, and thank you so much for supporting my itty bitty small little podcast. I appreciate you to no end. I know that there's more, way more than a handful of you that watch every single week and always, like and comment. And to those people, I love you so much. You're the reason why I stay motivated to keep doing it every week. So for real, thank you so much. And if you're new here, I hope you stay. I hope I didn't bore you to death. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you check out After Dark if you haven't already. It's on the same channel. They're just, my After Dark videos where I sit in front of my computer and get angry about transphobia in the world, or play stupid little games with my friends, or talk about stupid little things with my friends. Always, for the most part, surrounded by queerness or the LGBT community. So if you haven't checked that out, please go do so. Those videos come out every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I go live on Twitch. I play video games, or I just sit and yap with my friends every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you could do me a favor, before you click off of this video, if you haven't already, if you could please go check out my Patreon. You don't even have to subscribe, okay? You don't have to subscribe. Just go check it out. Just see what you're missing. And I bet you will want to subscribe. It's only $5 a month. $5 a month. You could also join as a free member if you wanted to. I still got some shit up there for free members. So it's always in the link in the description below. If you want to support me as a small creator, that is the best way to do that. I am trying to make this a full-time thing, and that would help me out a lot. Other than that, y'all, I drop videos every Wednesdays, Tuesdays, and I stream on Wednesdays. So I got a lot of content coming out of my ass. So you have no excuse. Other than that, follow me on TikTok and Instagram at HRT Podcast. I post all the time, kind of. Hit that subscribe button. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next week. I love you so much. Bye.